Hi church family, I'm Rebecca. I'm one of the teachers for the pre-K and kindergarten Sunday school class, and I just wanted to go over some things for the lesson for this week. Our lesson this week is out of the book of Luke, so I talk about with the students that it's in the book of Luke, and that's in the New Testament. It's one of the Gospels in the New Testament. Maybe ask them if they could name the other Gospels in the New Testament. Our unit verse is right now for this whole month is God loved us and sent his son. 1 John 4:10 is our unit verse. So we could go over that with them again. And our life point for today is that people can tell that Jesus is alive. People can tell that Jesus is alive. And our lesson is out of the book of Luke 24:13 through 35. And so you could read that story to them out of your Bible, or if you have your activity pages that were in the bag that Sally put together for us, then it is written here on that page, so you could read the story to them, a condensed version off of that page, Luke 24:13 through 35. And so I'd read the story and then ask them some questions, see if they can remember what happened, ask them about who said different things and what happened in the story. Some ideas of activities. One thing you could do is have your child act out what happened, or they could pretend to be a news anchor who is telling good news, and so they could act like they are a news anchor and they're reporting on this story, and then they could talk about the good news that Jesus is alive. And if you wanted to record them with your phone so that they could watch themselves later, that might be fun. Another idea is that we could paint. We talked about Jesus is alive after the scene by the stone was rolled away. So you could take an empty shoebox and a piece of paper and put the piece of paper in the empty shoebox, and then take a stone and dip it in some paint, which I'm not going to do right now, but dip it in some paint and you put it in the shoebox, and then they get to shake it up as much as they want with the stone inside, and they get to create an art project with the stone. And you can talk about the stone being rolled away and what happened when Jesus came back to life. And then you could do it another color of paint if you wanted to make it multicolored. We would want to work on memorizing John 3:16, which is our weekly verse. So a shortened version of it, John 3:16. God loved the world and gave his son. God loved the world and gave his son. And so you could play a memorization game with that if you wanted to, or you could have them write it out with stencils or with stamps. If you had either of those, they could practice writing it out and to help them remember it. And then also, if you have your pages from what Sally put together for us, there's a coloring page about the story in here with the two men that Jesus is walking with that were talking about what was going on. And then there's also the back of this has the activity page for them as well. So I hope y'all are having a wonderful Sunday, and I hope to see you soon.